everybody, back with another product review, this time for the ROCKSOCKI 7-pad tabletop drum pad unit. It's got built-in sounds. You get 7 pads on the unit. The pads on this thing are pretty nice. Volume control knob. You got a tempo button here. Menu button here. Display window, it's just basically it's LEDs, about like 3 characters each. You got a clock. Play and stop. Record. And a demo button. That's just a little sticker. I just didn't take it off. And you got a built-in speaker up here. Now the speaker is mono, from what I can see, because there's really this solid here, and it's solid here. But there's this, depending on the angle, you can see as an actual little circle right there. So there's just one speaker on it. So it's a monophonic speaker system on here. But this unit is not too bad, because stick-wise, you get a nice bounce. You get a nice little bounce. You do kind of hear the structure. You might be able to hear a little ring. So they probably got some sort of a metal plate in there to hold everything still. But the pads are nice and smooth, kind of a silicone rubber kind of a thing. There's not a lot of sponge there. There's a little bit, but not much. But the thing about it is, the bounce is good. So as long as you get a decent bounce, you're cool. But it's a nice unit. Now, let's take a look at something here. Now, when you get the unit, it's going to come with a pair of sticks. It's going to come with foot pedals like this. This is the kick drum pedal right here. I got it hooked up. And it also has a hi-hat pedal. So you get 2 pedals like this. It's not as big as the ideal would be that the foot pedal be as big as your foot, but in this price range, they're doing okay. But you got 2 foot switches, and then you have a USB-C cable that plugs in. All the connectors on here, by the way, are on the front. And as you can see, I just went ahead and just did a static shot so you can get a better look. But you got your kick drum pedal inputs for the hi-hat and the kick drum. You got a line input so you can hook up MP3 players or something like that and play music into the unit and play along with it. You got a USB-C over on this side. USB-C on the left is your data USB-C, because you can actually hook this up to a computer and use it like a drum controller, which is kind of neat. And then you have a USB-C on the other side on the right. That one is for power. And you get this little cable right here, this little white cable. It might be a different color with yours, but mine came as white. And the thing about it is this, ladies and gentlemen, they give you the cable to plug up to power. Now, you cannot plug this unit from either USB right into your computer, let's say, and draw power from a USB connection from your computer. It's a 5-volt USB-C connector. So it uses 5 volts of power, but you do have to supply power. So you get the cable. I just happen to have an old cell phone power supply for a little plug into the wall, directly into the wall. So I'll plug this in. We got the unit up. I got the kick pedal hooked up, and we can hear the kick pedal. So you're getting decent sounding drum kits here. So I actually got the kick pedal in my hand, so you kind of hear it a little bit when I rub it. If my foot was on top of it, then that would block the sound a little bit, but nonetheless, you got a kick drum. Now, you've got 15 kits in this unit all total. You got 150 drum sounds all total. So you have variation there between the kits. And the thing about it is, to scroll through the kits is real simple. you got an up and down arrow, up and down, and it's a continuous thing. So right now we're at kit number 1. If I hit the down arrow, you can see it goes to kit 15. So you can scroll either way, whatever way is going to get you there faster. So that's kit number 1. Let's go to kit number 2. Check it out real quick. You can see there's a little difference there. So you got a little variation there. And you got 15 kits. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put at the end of this video a little sample of each of all 15 kits, playing a little drum pattern so that you can actually hear all the kits, so you can get a good idea if this drum unit is going to be something that you'd want. And I got to tell you, because a lot of people seem to be buying them, at least from what I'm seeing on Amazon, for their kids, because it's an inexpensive unit. But the thing about it is, like I say, these pads and the way they feel, it's pretty good. All right, just keep going. Now, here's our volume. Here's our tempo button. Right now, it's set at the default of 120. But you say up and down arrows, we can move it up and down as much as we want. Set it wherever we want. So let's say we're in the metronome. Let's hit the click button. Now you can see we're at 120 beats per minute. Use our up and down buttons. You can hold it down if you want. And scroll down a little quicker, or you can just tap it. And in that way, you can change the tempo for your practice. If I hit the click button again, you see it went to 3/4. So we're in 3/4. We're in 3/4 time, which is a waltz. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hit the click button again. 6/8 time. And then you hit it again and it stops. And it goes back to the tempo speed rate right now, which is at 90. If you hit both of the up and down buttons at the same time, it doesn't default it. So if you want to get back to the default, it's 120. So we can just go on back to that. Real easy. Just like that. Alright, we just took a quick look at the tempo and the click. Let's go ahead and pop into the menu real quick, and we'll look at a couple things. Number 1, when you hit the menu button, each time you hit it, it's just like it was with the click over here. Every time you hit the menu button, it goes into a different mode until it comes back out. And it's only got a few modes to it. But you can actually switch a few things around if you want to. I found it works pretty good just right out of the box as it is with the ROCKSOCKI here. But if we go menu button once, it takes us into the C, which is for the metronome. The default for it is 4. Right there. Now if we were to hit the menu button again, it would take us into E. E is for the equalizer. So you can actually change equalizer settings. You have 3 settings levels. You got 1, 2, and 3. And then it'll cycle back through. So you've got that. And the default for it is 2. Next is F. And F is for the multi-effects processor. And you have 3 settings for that. So F1, let's take a quick try. F2. You can hear a big difference there, can't you? F3. Back to 1. You still get a little bit, but it's drier. F2. F3. Alright, we got it back at F1, so if we hit the menu button again, it pops us back out. Now we're back into the kit mode again. So, we do have some other parameters that can be adjusted. They are the surface impact sensitivity, trigger threshold, crosstalk threshold, repeat triggering, force curve, and then we have drum volumes. And it's 32 levels of drum volume. And then we have drum sequence. And the drum sequence lets us actually change the pattern of the layout of the pads for left or right hand players, is what it does. It does not give you the opportunity to just change the pads individually as far as what you want to hear. Because right now, for instance, we got the snare. Well, you can't change that. You can do a drum pattern switch, which will rearrange the layout, but you can't just say, well, I just want to change this from a snare drum to a conga. You can't do that. It won't let you. All right, but how do we get into that mode? Very simple. You long press the menu button. See, if you just do a short press, you get the metronome and the effects. But if you hold it down, you come back out, you're in the drum kit mode, hold the menu button down. Now, you see it switch to a letter C. That's for crosstalk. If we scroll up, 1, that puts us in R. R is for repeat triggering. U is for force curve. L is for level, for the drum volume, levels in total for all of the units. Keep hitting the camera, sorry. And then you have P, which is the drum sequence pattern. And then you have S, which is for surface impact sensitivity. And then you have R, which is retrigger again. We already did that one. Where's that a T? Is there a T, extra T on here? That might be. Yeah. The lowercase R is for repeat. And then the uppercase, what looks like kind of a backward 7, that's actually supposed to be a T. And that is for trigger threshold. So you can actually change how the strike is on the drum pad by adjusting those. I went through and tried them. I didn't see just a major difference. So I just left everything at the default mode. But let's go over here and check out the drum volume, which is L25. Now, if we take a listen, let me put this out of the way here for a second. That's off screen. Now, sorry. All right, that's L. Now, if I want to make that work, I hold down the menu button for a second. Now it's flashing. Now I'm locked into the actual level mode. Before we were just going through to find which programming mode we want to be in. Now we're actually in the level mode. So, I can use the up and down buttons. Notice the volume on the snare is going down? It's totally off now. With this mode, once you get to the bottom, that's as far as it goes. But there's 32 steps. So from 0 to 31 is 32 steps. And I can set that. It was at 25. So let's just set this one down to 10. And hit the drum pad and not the box. Notice, cymbals still at 25. Tom-toms are still at 25. But I can come over here to the tom-tom. I'll crank the tom-toms all the way up. That one's at 31. That one's at 25. The third tom-tom, I'll do something ridiculous and carry it on down to 10, like the snare. Now, for some reason, they moved that one down, which I didn't want it to do. There we go. And this one I got it super low. So technically, the snare is now a 10. This is supposed to be level 31. This was one of the glitches that I found with this unit. It dropped all the tom-toms down, but it left the cymbals up, and it let the snare do its thing. So let's just go ahead and reset this to 25, and make sure all of these are jiving at 25. You see, technically that's at level 6, you should barely hear it, but it's sounding at 25, so the tom-toms almost, and get the snare back up. Now everybody's at 25, but there's a little glitchiness there that I noticed. On different units that I've tested, when you change the volume on a pad, it changes just the volume on that pad. That's what it's supposed to do on this one, but it doesn't seem to want to do it completely the way it should. So that was one of the glitches. I also noticed it with the curves, with the velocity curves and the velocity repeat, things like that. It seemed to not just seem to make a big difference, and it might be the same kind of a glitch kind of a thing going on there. The reason why I didn't notice a big difference. But that is the difference there. Now, let's check out one more thing on here. I'll hit the menu button again. Now we're back into the main menu so that we can scroll through and pick which menu item we want. I'm going to go to P. Right now we're in P1, which is the default. So the snare, I'm going to bring that up. Make sure I got, because there's a pattern. There's the 4 different patterns in the manual here. You can kind of see it there. But right now we're in P1. Let's go to P2. We go menu. Hold it down for a second. Now the pattern is flashing. So P1, P2. Notice it switched to a tom-tom. There's the snare over there in the middle. Hi-hat right there. Tom-tom 3. Right there. 2, 1 for the tom-toms. Crash and ride. It switched the pattern layout. Let's go to 3. Hi-hat. Snare. Tom 1, 2, 3. Ride is on the left. Crash on the right. There's one more pattern switch. Number 4. Tom-tom 3, 2, 1. Snare. Hi-hat. Ride. Crash. We'll default it back to number 1. And I'll hit the menu to lock it in. There. Stops flashing. So that is the pattern layout of it, and the editing features, as far as most of it is concerned, as far as what you can alter with the unit. And I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of the video, because there's some things that if they switched them, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, this could be an awesome unit, and it would probably blow out a lot of the other units on the market, because at the price, if you made it a little, basically what would be a software update to the operating system in this, or as it's also known as the firmware update. If they did a firmware update and switched a few things on this, I got a feeling this unit could turn into a strong competitor up against a lot of other units just for the price. But then you could still buy it for yourself if you just wanted a little inexpensive drum unit, or for your kids. Or if you wanted to use this, if you were into using your DAW, or you're doing a little light gigging, since you got audio outputs on this thing, plus you have MIDI capability connection because of the USB cable, this thing would be dangerous. I'm telling you, this would be an awesome unit. And all it would take would be a firmware update and just knock a few things out and add a few things in. I don't even think they'd have to switch the processor or anything like that. All right, now that we're out of the menu, let's go and check out some of the demos. Now, the demos on here, they're not bad. They're actually 4-part demos. You get drums, bass, a solo instrument, and a backing accompaniment. So you're going to hear a bunch of different styles in here, which is kind of cool. And that way you can play along with these and learn how to get the patterns down of the different styles. So it's kind of neat. Now, the thing about this menu, when you hit the menu button, that starts it. If you want to stop that particular song, you hit the menu button again. The play button has no effect. Check it out. I'll hit the play stop button. You have to hit the menu button, make it stop. Another thing, if you got it going and you're jamming on one song, you want to go to another one, because there's, let me check my menu. Let me check the menu roster here real quick for you. Yeah, there's 50 songs in here. So, you scroll through, but you scroll through you kind of scroll through with the music playing, because that's the start and stop, and this doesn't work. So, you go to the next song, you just hit the up button, and it'll take you to the next song. This one has a long intro, but then it starts jamming. Watch, I'm going to try to go to the next song up. It stays there, because what happens is, once you hit the menu button and you stop the music, you're back in kit mode. So you got to switch the songs on the fly, kind of. So what you can do is just leave it on, hit the menu button, switch up, stop it, and then you can start it again if you want. If you want to get back to the beginning, if you think you missed something. But really you didn't, because you know how this one starts already. So it starts you at the next one right at the beginning, but it's a continuous thing. But I can stop it and start it back up. Nice variety on these. Little big band swing there. So as you can see, you got a decent variety of music on here, and it's played well too. So that's the demo mode. Okay, let's go ahead and do the record function on this, because it does let you record. But the thing to remember about this, you can only record one song, one take. Once you record it, that's it. If you hit the record button again, it automatically deletes what you just recorded. So you can't overdub. So it's a super fundamental recording feature built into this unit. If you want to do something more elaborate, then you use your USB-C, and you can record into a DAW on your tablet or phone or on your computer. But let's go ahead and give it a shot. I hit the record button. I get 3 flashing lights. So I'll just go ahead and just hit some pads and stuff. And I got my foot switch on off camera here. But as soon as you hit something, it records. Okay, that's it. I'll hit the record button again. I'll hit the play button. There you go. And that's it. And I can hit it again because it's still held in memory. It's still in memory, so I can hit it. But if I hit that record button, when those 3 dashes come up, it's gone. Because if I come out, nothing. I'm hitting the play button, nothing. The recording has automatically been erased. So now I have to go back in, hit the record, you get the 3 flashing lights, and do something else. So just remember that. As long as you record it, and it's locked in until you hit that record button again or you turn the machine off, then it's gone. But it's there right now. So it's a here and now recording kind of a situation. But it does work. Okay. As far as the basic features of this unit, we basically covered it all. Now, like I say, I'm going to put the kits on the end so you can hear the different kits and different patterns. The song sequences that we were just listening to a minute ago, there's a lot of them, and you can just listen to those as you go through the unit if you decide to make the purchase. But I still will go through some of the drum kit. I'll go through all the drum kits so you can hear those. But I'll do that with my DAW sequencing software on my computer. So we're going to actually hook up another USB cable to the unit because it has 2 USB ports. The other one, you can kind of see the white one over here. And then there's the sound output. And then there's the kick drum pedal. But there's another USB on this. And I'm going to switch up into my DAW so that you can see what's happening on the screen with the DAW. And now we'll just go through a couple things in my DAW to let you know how this thing handles as far as being a USB MIDI controller. Because at this price, if it works, hey, be hard to beat. So let's switch up. All right, we are now inside my DAW. And what we're going to do is just, I'm going to bring up my features over here because right now the MIDI input devices are set for all input device and USB MIDI. We'll click on that. You might be able to see every time I hit. Number 10 lights up. It says all, but number 10 is lighting up. Yeah, that's because channel 10 is your drum channel irregardless of what MIDI unit you're using. If it's a MIDI unit, controller, sound module, keyboard, or whatever, it's supposed to, if you're on the drums, it's supposed to go automatically default to MIDI channel 10. All right, now, we get that set, and we're set for MIDI USB. So, but you notice, you hear that? We're getting a doubling effect, because this is one of the other little things about this unit. I'm getting a doubling effect, and it's quick. There's very little delay there. But when you record, you want local channel, or you want local control off on whatever your MIDI controller is going to be. Even if it's a keyboard, like if you had a Yamaha or a Casio or Ranger keyboard, you would go in and turn the local control off so it wouldn't fire the sounds from within the unit. But yet, the MIDI DAW on the screen would be able to trigger the sounds. And so that way you don't get that doubling effect. We're which is what I'm getting right now. Okay, I just went off camera with my MIDI DAW software to see if there was a way to cancel that extra doubling effect. Even though technically it should be from within the unit, and I couldn't find anything. Let's see how it monkeys with a recording, and we'll find out a couple things. It might be a slight annoyance that you can live with while you're doing your drum track. So let's see. All right, now, let's see. That'll work. You know what? Let's see. And you notice the doubling is gone because we're not inputting and outputting at the same time. So that worked just fine. Let's see. Now this is the hi-hat, and it's open because I don't have the hi-hat pedal, but I'm going to do a little switcheroo. I'm just going to move the kick drum pedal because they're the same pedal. It's just they give you two of them, but they plug up the same way and they work the same way. So I'm just going to switch it over to the hi-hat jack on the front of the drum unit. All right, let's lay down a hi-hat track to go along with it just to give it a little something. Plus it gives me a chance to monkey with the pedal with the hi-hat. Let's just go ahead and use that. Nothing earth-shattering there, I don't think. Billy Cobham or Dave Weckl will have anything to worry about. All right, let's try this. Cutoff is a little bit tough on there, but it does work. Okay, so as you can see, you can record with the unit, which is nice. And like I say, just plug it up. You can select MIDI channel 10 if you want, or just take whatever MIDI input comes to it, and there you go. But it does record, and you can use it as a controller. But let's just go one step further. Let's, because that's the internal sounds of the unit. So what we'll do is we'll just mute that track. And then I'll come down here and I'll go extra large on that one. And we'll come inside and I'll just grab percussion drum kits. Let's do, we'll do the studio drums. There we go. Now let's test it. I'm going to drop the volume completely down on the ROCKSOCKI. Okay, I got my studio kit, and this is from my dog. Okay, let's take a listen to that. as you can see, it works. Whether you're using internal sounds from your DAW or from your drum unit itself, it just works. And you can hear the difference. So you got options there. And of course, the ROCKSOCKI had the multi-effects at the lowest point, so if I was to go in and, as a matter of fact, why not? Let's go in. Let's take the effects up. Back it up. Wow, what a difference. Now I'm curious, just for the heck of it, folks, let's do the third effect. And a little difference, not a great one. Biggest difference seems to be 1 and 2. Yep. Yep, 1 and 2. But, nonetheless, you got it. So, if you want to use this unit exclusively with your DAW, you can do it. It's not too bad. Okay, now back at the drum pad again. But, as you can see, it's not a bad unit. Overall, I'd love to give this unit a 5-star, but I can't. I'm going to go 4. Because it's still, like I say, the pads feel good. They're not huge. Because you can see, here's my hand. They're not huge pads, but yet you can still practice and zero in on the pads pretty good. Good sensitivity. Look at it, I'm using my finger. So, you got... And you got velocity sensitivity there as well. So, it's not a bad unit. Decent sound, lots of drum kits in it, get 15 of them. Perfect for your kids or yourself, because for shall we say the kid in you, you can play on this unit and have a lot of fun. But here's my thing to ROCKSOCKI, Amazon, and chances are ROCKSOCKI may not have actually manufactured this unit. Hopefully they will pass this information on and I will put it into my write-up of the unit. I'm giving it 4 stars. 4. Because it's still a nice unit. But there's a few details that need to be fixed. One thing, you need to be able to turn off the local control on this unit. And I say, let me grab the manual here off camera. And if you ask me, as far as the drum parameters go, you folks saw how it worked. I didn't really have a latency issue using this with the internal sounds or with my sounds built into my DAW. So latency didn't seem to really be much of an issue with this unit. From what I could see. The thing that got me about this unit is just that instead of doing the trigger threshold, crosstalk, repeat trigger, and force curve, those 4 elements could be taken out. You could probably leave the sensitivity in there so that you can switch sensitivity levels if you want to. But there's 4 elements, like I say, the repeat, triggering, the force curve, crosstalk threshold, and the triggering threshold. You might be able to do away with those and replace those, because the thing of it is processors only have so much information space in them. You only get so much information, room in them, in the memories to program. And then once you run out of programming space, that's it. And so I think that if they just went in and took those 4 elements out, and I'll put it in my write-up, take those 4 elements out and add in local control off, so you can turn the drums off, so when you're using this with a DAW, you don't hear that double strike. One of the other things is they have the 4 patterns that you can choose as far as the layout of the pads, and we went through those that switched the snares and the tom-toms around. Take that out. If I could place any sound on any pad that I wanted to, that would make a big difference, because then you could truly customize it. The other thing is have MIDI note numbers selectable on this as well, so that you could actually select the MIDI note numbers on this, because every drum sound isn't going to be the same, and you might be using this to trigger a non-drum sound. And so by locking it into these particular sounds, notes, MIDI notes, you're stuck. So by taking out those 4 triggering mechanism programming features that I just mentioned earlier, and adding in to be able to freely assign MIDI notes, freely assign the sounds to whatever pad you want, and local control on and off, this unit would go up to a 5 stars easy, because now you got the control that you get on more expensive units. You should have room to be able to program those in, create a new firmware for it, put it available on ROCKSOCKI, because that's who sells this. This is their unit, their brand. Then you got a unit that can compete with the other units on the market. But do that, ROCKSOCKI. And Amazon, pass it on to them as well, because you're going to be showing this video on your website. Let ROCKSOCKI know, if they don't happen to see this review, hey, this is what you got to do. And I will try to send an email to ROCKSOCKI as well, because they do have an email address. But I think if they did that to this unit, you'd have yourself a nice little super inexpensive powerhouse of a unit, because you could control it internally and with your USB connection to a DAW, and you knock it out of the park. So those are my recommendations. I still give it 4 stars. For you folks who want to buy this for your little kids or what have you, or for yourself just for some general jamming, it'll work. It'll work. But to take it over the top, to really give it that little extra powerhouse kick, make those adjustments if possible, ROCKSOCKI, and you're going to have yourself a mean unit that people who want an inexpensive drum controller, trigger unit, this will be it, because you got 7 pads, totally assignable, plus the 2 kick pad inputs. You'll be able to do some stuff. This will become a bigger major player on the market. And I'm sure Amazon wouldn't mind having an even hotter product than before. The ROCKSOCKI drum pads also come with snare drum mounting indents on the bottom of the unit, so that you can use a snare drum stand to mount the unit on, which is pretty neat. But once again, 4 stars. I like it. Check it out. Great for the kids, great for you, for the drummer in you. And I'll see you next time.